I was outside a little while ago amending the soil and planting some seeds in my little blue kiddie pool. I hope you're growing a fall garden. If you're not, you should. You can eat all year long homegrown. Save money, save trips to the grocery store, know where your food comes from, disrupt the food pipeline and all of the big companies that sort of run things. Increase your self-sufficiency, increase your healthfulness. Plus, it's just very satisfying to grow a garden. And you can do it all year long. I hope you're growing a fall garden. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you are planting. Or if you see anything here that I'm planting that you would like to know more about, just go ahead and ask. I read every comment. Learning a lot, sharing it here. I hope you'll come grow with me. Enjoy the video. Bye. Say bye, Claire. She's busy purring. Vates collard greens, Mâche golden ball turnips, Lacinato kale, Chijimisai, Wasabi arugula, Bloomsdale spinach, Florence fennel, dill, bok choy, and Greenwave mustard, plus yod fa Chinese broccoli, sprouting broccoli, and dwarf lemon cilantro. Shout out to Ariel at the Velvet Cottage who gave me these seeds in a seed swap earlier this year. Welcome back to Leah's Leaves. Yesterday this kiddie pool had that trellis covered in morning glory vines that were overtaking a spent cucumber plant. So now that the spent plant and the weeds have all been brought out, and I've topped it off with about 1.5 inches of fresh composted manure from my local farm co-op, I'm going to plant some fall veg today. I'm not planting much of anything, and I'm going to plant rather densely, particularly the greens, and use it as a cut and come again bed for part of what I'm growing. So just we'll start on the left, kind of work clockwise into the front. I grew Chijimisai greens in the spring. I'm growing those again. Vates collards, Wasabi arugula, Lacinato or Dinosaur kale, Bloomsdale spinach, Greenwave mustard, yod fa, which is a sprouting broccoli, so not a full heading broccoli, golden turnips, and I think I have some Market Express white turnips as well. I just need to go inside and grab the seeds, but I'm going to plant a couple of each. A few Florence fennel, that's the bulbing type of fennel. Some bok choy that'll be scattered in among other things because that's a very small plant. And one dwarf lemon cilantro plant. So just be a small smattering of each. I put the taller things in the back toward the south end of the wall, and the shorter things in the front so that nothing will shade out what's behind it. Look, my garden gnome just came out. Hi, Holly. Supervising my seed saving abilities, or seed sowing. Cilantro's planted here, here, and here in a triangle because they need to go between 2 and 4 inches apart, so I cut the middle and went 3 inches. So there's a 3-inch triangle right there that'll have the cilantro seeds. In general, if you've never planted plants from seed before, the larger the seed, the deeper it can go into the ground. Since a cilantro seed is about 1/16 of an inch, that's about how far into the ground I put it. Like 1/4 inch would be fine, nothing too deep. Some of the smaller seeds you'll see here are green seeds. Anything in the lettuce, greens, the Arugula seeds, the Chijimisai seeds, those will be smaller, so they'll sit closer to the surface. And really, they just need a light covering of soil over top of them and a good watering. A gentle water. You don't want to wash them out of the spot you're trying to plant them in. But you don't want to bury those too deep because they're little seeds and they don't want to have to struggle to try to find light. When I put the turnips in here, here, and here, I'm only growing them for the greens. They're a long enough growing cycle to reach the bulbing phase that it'll be a little too cold for them. I do have some plastic to put over this as sort of a mini greenhouse when the temperatures fluctuate in October and November. We'll get a frost in early to mid-October here in Luray, Virginia, Zone 6B. And then it'll also warm up to the 80s again. I'm a pastor, and my first October here in town, I baptized somebody in the local river in October, and it was 87 degrees that day. But our first frost had already passed. So, but for now, like I said, I'm densely planting a lot of these and using it more like cut and come again. That just means I can harvest from the outer leaves and let the plant continue to grow until it runs out of juice. These are the Bloomsdale spinach seeds. They're actually the largest seed I have out here today. They're easy to plant. They'll go in a little deeper than the other seeds. And I'll space them about 2 inches apart. The Arugula seeds, on the other hand, are the smallest. Those are those little tiny, let's see if I'll get into focus here. Little tiny yellow dots in the center palm. They're very, very tiny. I'm just going to scatter them on the surface and then lightly press on them so they have soil contact. Dirty hands, gardener hands. Those are little dill seeds. And I'm going to plant fennel in the last open spot, and they'll look very similar. And yes, this is the same seed that you can buy just in the herb section of the grocery store and use in your cooking. It'll grow that plant. So I'm just planting 3 of these, and what I'm going to do is poke one there, and one there around the edges of the kiddie pool. They'll grow rather tall, and they'll kind of lean out, and they'll grow up and kind of lanky. So I'm just going to give them room to spread and spill over the back side of the kiddie pool. And here's the fennel seed. I did not grow fennel as a spring crop because we have very short springs here and then it gets really hot. But they can tolerate cool and they can survive frost. Now, do some research if you're ever going to grow fennel, because it doesn't always play well with others, but it's okay for the stuff that I'm planting in this bed. Sometimes it attracts pests or repels good bugs because of its strong anise odor. So it's not always compatible with a lot of summer crops. But if you grow it as a fall vegetable, that's not a problem anyway. So I'm going to poke these right there. I'm just going to space them about 3 inches apart in a square. Okay, and that's that. I did drop a couple of extra mustard seeds, so I may have some random mustard cropping up here, there, and everywhere. And I also lost one of my fennel seeds. It may or may not have fallen in the tub, or it may have fallen in the grass in front of my feet. Oh well. Anyway, it doesn't look like much now. Right now it just looks like a kiddie pool full of dirt. But we'll be back and we'll check the progress of the plants here. When the cooler temperatures come next month, I will throw a clear shower curtain liner over this and weigh it down on the edges with rocks, and inside I put grating stakes to hold it up, so like a tent. And I'll just leave it on all day unless it's a really warm day, and then I'll lift it and let it vent. But it does a beautiful job of capturing enough sunlight and retaining residual warmth that it'll easily be 3 or 4 degrees warmer under the plastic than it is at night outside the plastic. And that'll help the plants not get frost shock, and they'll be able to extend the growing season. Anyway, I'm learning a lot sharing it here. Check back for another update on the kiddie pool for our fall garden. Bye. Bonus, I forgot that I had seeds for Dutch corn salad, which is also called Mâche. It's spelled M-A-C-H-E, pronounced Mâche. And it's a low-growing green, packed full of nutrition and very cold hardy. And I had this container growing a tomato, but the tomato is spent. So instead of digging the tomato out, I'm just going to cut it at the base of the stem, right at the soil level, and then plant this mâche and let that tomato root system decompose over the fall. So here we go. These are the mâche seeds. I'm just going to kind of trying to do this holding a camera, and I'm not left-handed. Kind of spread those out a little bit. There we go. Switch hands. Just gonna poke these in. And then with everything I planted in this video, spread this one over here. I'm gonna go through with my watering can as soon as I turn off the video and give all this a good watering in. You always want to water in your seeds unless you're expecting imminent rain. But even if the rain is hours away, just go ahead and water it and give those seeds a good head start. All right, come grow with me. Bye.